Hi everyone, I'm Linda Cooper and welcome back to an all-new episode of the New 100 Longevity Campaign. This show is all about finding unique healing modalities, and I can promise you, this episode will not disappoint. We are exploring the ancient healing secrets using energy medicine. And I'm so excited about this particular healing modality. I've actually had the opportunity to try it twice, and it's pretty special. It is called the Harmonic Egg, and it was invented by today's show guest, Gail Lynn. I was told to set my healing intention for that particular session. And I have to say that I had this out-of-body experience that I felt this deep sense of relaxation and a higher level of consciousness afterwards. And inside there's light and sound frequency. It uses sacred geometry. It's really unique, and I can't wait for Gail to tell us all about it. She's been working for decades in this field using other light and sound healing technologies, and she developed this revolutionary new technology which is advancing frequency healing to an unimaginable level. So let's welcome Gail to the show and get started. Hey Gail, thank you so much for joining us today. I'm so excited about this episode because I had like this out-of-body experience. I actually said that in my intro. It was this sense of a higher consciousness with deep relaxation. Like I was literally I felt like I could have passed out.
I'm so happy that you had that experience. Yeah, I mean, I've been listening to some of your interviews, and of course there's very brilliant people that you're interviewing, and they're scientists and doctors, and I'm just a little Detroit girl.
Do not diminish yourself.
No, I feel I'm a badass. I'm brilliant, but I don't have all the numbers and letters and, behind my name. I just have come to this intuitively. So we're sound and light beings. Why not heal with sound and light?
Yes.
Our bodies are very complicated. So why would we take 20 supplements a day that our body can't process? And I've kind of intuited the colors, and I've intuited.
I'm a huge fan of this book. And you know what? It was so great because Stephanie, I didn't even know that you wrote a book. She's like, oh, I want to give you this after my first session and I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't even know she wrote a book. This is so amazing. This is actually where I want to start because I learned so much reading this, and it's, for the audience, unlocking the ancient secrets to healing and why science is looking to the past for the future of medicine. So let's start there. I think this is so new it was new to me, so I think it's really going to be new to the audience. So let's start with, what are the secrets of the past for healing, and how does it benefit us in the future?
All right. Great question. So, in the past, I think for 40,000 years, the Aborigines have been using sound healing, and the didgeridoo is way back then. So we have a lot of didgeridoo music in the egg because it can help to heal the bones. It can help for structural things, same as drumming. What an ancient instrument, as well as flute. So I think those are the three most ancient instruments that we see in museums, and we see, the drum circles with the Native Americans, and we see the flute that had been used in Greece and Egypt. And to me, was just so much common sense that they've used this for years. Now, we can't compare the ancient times to now.
Right.
We have so many more toxins. We have so much more stress. We have so many more things that are preventing us from staying healthy and living long, because we have to constantly detox. Yes. And that's kind of what the egg does as well.
Let's talk about the harmonic egg, the features of the harmonic egg, and how they came to be.
So it was, like I said, all intuitive, but I have an engineering background. I have desire to help people and have a quality of life. And I've been studying alternative stuff for many years because I had the migraines for 23 years. and was on a mission to try to figure out, why do I have migraines? There's got to be a reason. There's got to be a cure.
Yeah.
So if we're sound and light beings by nature, why not heal with sound and light? So then I started looking at the sacred geometry of the planet, in the universe, the nature, and, you know, wild plants. You see 3s and 6s and 9s. And then Nikola Tesla said, if you can unlock the secrets to 3, 6, and 9, you know all the mysteries of the universe. So there's that. Then
what are the secrets of 3, 6, and 9? Well, it's in this book, but tell us.
So I don't know. You just look at nature and you see a lot of 3s, a lot of 6s, a lot of 9s. You look at the hexagon shape, which is the platform that the chair sits on in the egg. So that's a number 6. And you'll see that in beehives, because it's such an amazing shape. The center of a hexagon is a portal. So you're basically in a portal in the egg, but look at how the bees, how magical they are, and how they've put their hives together in such a perfect way that they don't lose any space. They all butt up against each other and they have this great hive. So 3 has always been a magical number for me. And then 9 has always been, it's 3 times 3, right? Yeah. So it's been so crazy, just the downloads that I was getting. And then you looked at Victor Schauberger's work with the shape of the egg, the cosmic egg. And he says, if you have a water dispenser and you put water in it and it's an egg shape, that water is always a high vibration. So what's happening in the egg with that egg shape and the golden ratio, it just came together so magically and so beautifully. And I looked at it, and what you said about having the out-of-body experience and the connecting to a higher consciousness.
Yes.
So I had a client do a session last week. She's a friend of mine, so I coached her a little bit. And she said, oh my gosh, Gail, the egg is so magical that it identified in me some pains that I was feeling while I was in the egg. I connected to my higher self, and it made me want to listen to my body. Oh my gosh, people need to listen to their bodies, because we know all, our body knows all. So she had right shoulder pain. She looked it up. It associated her heart chakra. She realized her heart chakra was blocked, which is probably the root cause of what was going on with her. But she said, I would have never known any of this had I not been in the egg, and the egg identified this pain. I listened, I looked it up. She said it was just such a magical experience for her.
Yes. No, it's incredible. In fact, that just brings up something that I looked up in your book. You talk about reflexology of your teeth according to like what the different body parts. So I have Hashimoto's thyroiditis. And so I just hung up with my dentist's office this morning, and I was like, okay, thyroid is 14, 15, and 2 of the upper teeth. And I was like,
meridian lines, right?
Yes. And so I said, so I don't have that many fillings or crowns in my mouth. I had very few. As a matter of fact, I only got my first filling when I was like pregnant with my first child, is when I started getting fillings or cavities. So she's like, you have it at, and those were the exact numbers, 2, 14, and 15. I have crowns. And I was like, that came to me in the egg with what is the underlying reason of why I have thyroid issues? And then when I read it in the book about that, it's just like, it was like connecting the dots. So I'm like, okay, so now what do I do with this information? So I said in the intro, Stephanie asked me to set my intention before I was walking into the chamber. And so I said, I want to heal my thyroid. So she put on special music. So you have like a whole cheat sheet. She looked up her cheat sheet. Okay, there's this music with this lighting. It has to all be, tell us about how that works.
Okay, let me go back, because you're like going way ahead of me. I'm like, my brain's going all over the place.
I know.
So I'm glad you brought up the teeth meridians, because people will have a root canal or a tooth problem, and it'll be on the heart meridian. They have heart problems. There is a connection. Everything is connected. We have to listen to our body. We can look up a tooth meridian chart very easily on Google, and we can kind of put those puzzle pieces together. Hashimoto's thyroiditis also can be Epstein-Barr virus. And I think I heard you say your husband might have some thyroid condition now. I don't know if I heard that right in one of your interviews.
Yes, he actually is taking a low dose thyroid medicine, but it's not Hashimoto's, but he does have something. So is that connected?
So Epstein-Barr virus attacks the thyroid. It's very contagious, if you will. So I'm wondering if you and your husband might have a little bit of Epstein-Barr virus. You might go and get it tested. It's very simple. It has a mutation. If you've had strep or chickenpox or Lyme disease, it can mutate into this Epstein-Barr virus, which attacks that little baby thyroid, which is such a little precious organ in our body that does so many things. So I would definitely check that out. Check out Epstein-Barr virus.
I definitely will.
And I learned a lot of this, over the years from different professionals, different doctors. But with autoimmune diseases, if you have followed the medical medium, Anthony William,
okay,
he'll say, he doesn't believe that there is autoimmune. Now, a lot of people will get triggered by that because they're like, I have autoimmune, dang it. But what if it's just a viral load attacking the body that we just haven't discovered yet? What if medicine hasn't discovered what it is? And so in order for the doctors to feel like they've given you an answer, that the answer is your body's attacking itself. But then you get into that betrayal. Like, why is my body attacking itself? Why would God or creator give me a body that would attack itself? Like, our bodies are amazing. Right. So I really feel like there's something else underlying that.
Okay, so let's go back to how the harmonic egg would heal the thyroid using the light and the sound and the frequency and the music that you have aligned with that.
Like you were talking about the cheat sheet. So we created a cheat sheet for all the center owners because not everybody has studied as much as I have. I give them 21 books of required reading, and then they can kind of see how I developed the protocols and the egg itself and where I studied, face reading, nail reading, body reading. I took classes on reading blood work. I took classes on, all these different things about ancient healing and studied Edgar Cayce. So they don't know that when they first open. So they have this beautiful cheat sheet. And it will say, for thyroid, here's some music that helps to bring the throat chakra back into balance. If in fact the Hashimoto's, they know to look at Epstein-Barr. So they know to look at antiviral music selections and light selections. They know what colors to use. They know not to use, like red if somebody has high blood pressure. They know to use blue. Red light therapy is a big thing right now, but it can be very stimulating and very energizing. And that's not always what you want. If you want to be more relaxed and calm, autistic children, you don't want to put them on those stimulating red light colors, right? Pets, if you do remote sessions or healing sessions with your pets, you don't want to put them on stimulating colors.
Wait, go back. Wait, you can do this remotely? Oh my
God. Energy, Linda, everything is energy. We've actually done remote sessions where there's a smell in the room after the session from the detox, from the person that's not even in there.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay. So how does it work to do a remote session?
So what came through for me was when you were born, you were given a birth name, your full birth name, and you have a birth date. On that day, you came out, you were perfect. So you send in a picture of yourself today with your full birth name and your birth date when you were absolutely perfect. And energetically, we do the sessions just like you were in person. We talk to you on the phone. We get what you want to work on. We help you set your intention. We put your photo actually in the egg, goes in the egg at a specific time, 40 minutes of music, 10 minutes of silence. Energetically, you are in the egg. And it is such a beautiful thing. My niece did a session the other day. She guessed the colors. I told her, I'm not going to tell you what colors I'm putting you on. She's 14, right? She's intuitive. And I said, you're going to tell me what colors you felt in your session. And she said she felt these two colors. It was exactly correct. And she said her legs got like, real antsy. She relaxed so much. And then afterwards, she said she had a lot of energy. So she did a remote session over the weekend.
Wow.
And
So
so
you're still like pretending you're in the egg while you're doing the remote session. So you're lying down like maybe in one of the, like a chair that I have back there. It's kind of similar, one of those zero gravity chairs.
you can lay on the floor. I told her she could color, she could do gardening, she could go for a walk. Just do not be on the computer. Do not be on electronics. Do not put yourself in a stressful situation while that is energetically happening to your, energy field in the egg.
How many locations there? You have a franchise of the Harmonic Egg, but they're franchised. So for instance, Stephanie's location is called Next Level Harmonics. So how many locations do you have currently?
So we have sold 68 eggs to date. We've actually shipped them. We've sold over 125. People are on a wait list, but it's not a franchise. What I wanted to create was this beautiful divine feminine cooperative business model. I didn't want to do the masculine franchise model. I wanted to do a beautiful family of a cooperative business model. So they're all independently owned and operated, but we do have a trademark agreement. So they follow the protocol. We all protect the brand, and we're a family of egg guardians and egg owners.
Oh,
so there's all
love that.
Yeah, it's so fun. It's so beautiful. The family's so beautiful. We have center owner calls. We have a private Facebook page. We all help each other. We all support each other.
Amazing. Oh my gosh. Egg guardians. I absolutely love that.
They call me the egg mama. There's nothing that compares to being in the egg, trust me, because I love getting in there.
So how often do you go in? Because I know you said something in the book about too much of a good thing is not necessarily smart. And so how often do you recommend going in?
So I go in every 5 to 7 days. Now, if some people will get a really big hit of the energy, and sometimes it takes 2 weeks to integrate. You will know, but I want people to know that they should respect all the different modalities. If you're going to do massage, give it time to integrate, give it 3 days. If you're going to do acupuncture, Reiki, float tanks, infrared saunas, you name it, they're all coming out. But we have these energy junkies that are like, I'm going to do this, and then tomorrow I'm doing this, and this afternoon I'm doing this. They're spinning their body out of control. The body's like, what do you want from me? I don't even know anymore. You just blasted everything. It would be like eating breakfast, then eating lunch, and then eating dinner all at the same time. Right. You didn't give your body time to digest that. Energy work is the same thing. Give your body a chance to digest it or integrate it. While I'm integrating, I don't take any supplements. I hardly take any anyway. My body and my cells have, when you reset that autonomic nervous system, the body can function properly, as long as you're not eating junk food all the time.
Right.
And you're not stressed out all the time, because stress causes inflammation. Inflammation causes disease. We know the cycle.
Yeah, and every single guest talks about to removing the inflammation in the body removes most chronic diseases. That's what I'm featuring season 2 is healing modalities that you can take advantage of now. Because season 1, or what you were referring to as all of the guests, a lot of which these, incredible cures for chronic disease are coming down the pipeline in like 5, 10, 15 years from now, but it's not going to be coming to fruition anytime really soon. And so I was getting frustrated, like listening to their trials and tribulations, and I was like ready to tear my hair out, and I wasn't going through it. So just getting something to a clinical trial, and it was just, mind-boggling to me. And so I was like, okay, that's what this season is all about, is healing modalities and things that you can take advantage of right now to enhance your health span, lifespan, support healthy aging, and all of that. And so I feel this 100% is going to be huge. And I'd love for you to share some stories, because in the back of the book you have several, but I think the audience really needs to hear, some really great experiences that people have had.
Oh my gosh. Well, there's so many of them. I'll try to go with the ones outside the book because, they could read those in the book.
Yes.
So, like you said, you discovered things in the egg, like the egg almost told you, but it was really your higher self, tuning into your higher self. So I had a lady the other day and she said, I'm feeling a little bit of fear because I was told I have breast cancer. She said, my grandmother, my mother, it's in the family. And she said, but we don't have that gene that expresses it. And I said, but sometimes it's Bruce Lipton's epigenetics. So epigenetics is your grandmother didn't learn to nurture herself. She taught your mom not to nurture herself. Your mom taught you not to nurture yourself. So guess where breast cancer manifests into, you didn't nurture yourself. You haven't nurtured yourself. So she did an actual remote session. And she said what was revealed to her, it was such a small little mass that they found. And she said her guides told her it was like a flea, just flick it off. You can get rid of it. It's fine. It's going to be fine. Don't live in that fear, but also to nurture herself. And she had all these visions about being a preacher in the pulpit, to preach what she's learning now about how to break that pattern of her grandma and her mom and, break the patterns. So I feel like the egg gives people hope and it helps them tune into their body. It's so fun. People will always tell me, my inflammation markers are down, my cancer markers are down. And we don't make any claims.
No.
All I say is when you put your body in balance, it can heal itself. There's so many people that have had insomnia and they're sleeping 12 hours after the first night. But then on the flip side, you'll have someone who says, I was awake all night. I had all this energy just bubbling up. And I've had both experiences.
Yeah.
And I think it depends on the light colors, the sound selections we use, what your intention is. Some people will go in there and have so many creative ideas. They want to bring paper in there so they can write them all down. They can't relax. So I got to remember this thing and this thing and this thing and this thing. And people have gone in there to write their books. People have gone in there for art, their artwork. And then healers go in to work on themselves because they have to clear themselves.
And regenerate.
They have to regenerate because they give so much, because we're here to have this beautiful human experience, but the egg is consistent and repeatable. It's technically a machine.
Okay, I have a question. I just thought of this because this will be for my next session if it's possible. So I've lost a lot of the cartilage in my knees from years and years of aerobic abuse, years and years of jump roping and all of that. So can it help regenerate cartilage? Because they're trying to scientifically figure out, because osteoarthritis is such a big thing. What do you say?
I'm writing some notes, so I know all the 3 stories I'll tell you.
Okay, good.
I have prevented people from having to have hip surgeries and knee surgeries. My boyfriend had to have a knee surgery because the cartilage was so gone. And I always tease him. He had like a parenthesis leg. It was starting to bow out. Oh, like, wow. I call him Fred Stanford, Fred Stanford, Red Fox, right? And so he had to have the surgery. There was nothing the egg's going to do to fix that. He needed some physical, he needed a shim in there. And my boyfriend also had, he lost his wife, who was like the love of his life, 27 years of marriage. He kind of lost her unexpectedly about 14 years ago. And then he suffered a heart attack.
Oh, wow.
They told him that he lost 40% of his heart, that it died. And that's emotional. I mean, his heart was broken. So they put in some stents and a pacemaker, 10 years later, which was maybe 3 or 4 years ago, he had to have the battery replaced. And I have a lot of medical doctors that come to the center because they come for PTSD, they're trauma surgeons, they see a lot of stuff. And he says, give me his ejection fraction numbers, his cardiac output numbers. And he's like a medical doctor. He said, then I'll tell you how much of his heart is still dead. So he's looking at the numbers, looking at me. These are his numbers. I said, yeah. He said, his heart is regenerated. There's nothing dead about the heart.
Wow. You can regenerate the heart.
Why can't we regenerate? Why can't, if a, we'll call it a stupid salamander can regenerate its tail, or a gecko, or these, different animals can regenerate different parts. Why can't we? Why do we believe that we can't heal? Who has hoodwinked us so much that we believe that we can't heal from anything? We know if we break a bone, we know it can heal. We know if we cut ourselves, it's going to scab up and heal. Who has hoodwinked us to believe that we can't heal from anything?
Who has hoodwinked us?
Yeah. Well, we know the answer. We won't talk about it. So I have another lady. She said her cartilage regenerated. She was a dancer for many, many years. And she said that using sound and light therapy, her cartilage did regenerate. I can tell you that I played softball.
Wait. You have to really hear those words. With sound and light therapy, her cartilage regenerated. That's
her claim.
Incredible. No, but I mean, why would she lie about something like that?
Right. She doesn't have the pain. So I will tell you, I played softball for 30 years. I dove. I would do anything in the world to get the ball. They called me a human shield. I would just be crazy. I would slide in shorts. I'd have to pick gravel out of my legs. I was crazy. So, my knees are kind of shot, but I have zero pain. You can hear them creaking and cracking, but I don't have any pain.
Okay, so I actually haven't had pain and haven't had to have an injection because I've been doing earthing. So I'm featuring earthing on season 2. That's episode 2. And actually, I'm going to show you. This is my earthing mat that I have on barefoot right now. And I sleep with one. I sleep with a pillowcase. And so ever since I've started doing that, I don't experience the knee pain that I've had before. It's like I hate to say this, I'm going to knock on some wood. I'm pain-free.
Good.
And I'm attributing it to the earthing, which, and if you haven't seen that, go back to episode 2. But the fact is that I'm so excited to hear about what the harmonic egg can do, because it's going through the cellular level. It's going to your DNA. It's like going straight to, like you said, like when you came out of the womb, the perfect person that you were when you were born.
You're perfect at that time. Yeah. And we can all go back to that. And I don't blame, I'll be 52 this year. I still don't even have any wrinkles here or here. It's so crazy. I don't wear a ton of makeup. I wear very little makeup, just eye stuff, really.
What are your intentions when you go into the egg?
I don't set intentions for anti-aging, but when we feel like the egg can help strengthen the telomeres. So that's one thing. And I just did a hormone test. It was a Dutch test with Precision Analytical, because I learned about it through Christiana Northrup. And I had a doctor read it because I wasn't sure that I was reading it properly. But she said, I rarely see this. All of your hormone levels are in balance, every one of them. And I said, well, I'm having hot flashes and I don't sleep sometimes as well as I would like to sleep. And so she's looking at my results and she said, well, I'm looking at your cortisol levels go down in the afternoon and then pop back up. So I was like, okay. Well, then she said, you can take bioidentical hormones. I said, no. What is a more natural way that I can do this? And I thought, we don't take enough responsibility for our own health. So I sat in meditation. I said, okay, to my guides, why is it that my cortisol levels will go down and then they're coming back up at night? Okay, guess what? I go to my boyfriend's house. He makes me dinner every night. I come home at 7 o'clock and I start working again.
Oh, that's why.
I stopped doing that. And guess what? I'm sleeping like a baby again. But here she wants to put me on hormones. She wants to put me on this. She wants to do this. I said, no. And she said, if any level is a low normal, it's your DHEAS, which is the sulfur group of DHEA. So she's again talking about some prescription. Yeah, she's like some prescription stuff. And I was like, what is more natural? She said, broccoli seed extract.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's your sulfur group of the DHEA. And so, there's so many ways that we can take things, but I don't believe in taking things every day for the rest of our lives. I think we let our body take it for a couple of weeks. Then our body says, oh, this is what you want. And it reintegrates, it resets.
I believe that. Oh my gosh, I am 100% a believer. In fact, I was taking so many supplements before, and I do this kinesiology test and I test myself to see, okay, am I still needing this or not? And if it pulls me forward, I put it on the stomach. If it pulls me forward, it's like, okay, this is still working. And if it doesn't do anything, it's like I'm ditching it because I'm already taking so much. And if it pulls me backwards or sideways or whatever, it's like, forget about it. And so the things that I've been taking, I'll get like, okay, I'm gonna go off of this for a week and just like let my body rest and like see what's going on, and then I'll retest in a week. And some of the time it'll be like, okay, I don't need this anymore.
That's brilliant. I'm so happy you do that, because most people don't listen to their bodies. So like, my hat's off to you for doing that. I do the same thing.
Yeah.
I'll test every day. I might need 2 or 3 things a day. Generally after an egg session, my body will be like, nope, 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 nope. Let us integrate, then we'll let you know what we need.
I love that. In the book, you share a story on cymatics, and so dolphins are my spirit animal. And so when you started sharing Joan Ocean's work on dolphins and their communication, I'd love for you to share that with the audience, to give us what is cymatics and explain that, because I found that's fascinating.
This is how my brain works. Okay, so if every egg is made with a different tree, because the eggs are made of wood, then every egg has a different fingerprint, and every egg is run by a different center owner. So every egg owner has a different energy. So how do you really get a baseline on that? So we really haven't figured out a way to do the cymatics on the music. But what
cymatics is sound wave therapy, just so the audience knows.
I don't remember the whole story about the dolphins, so if you want to help me out, I wrote a book.
Okay, so I just happened to pull it up. So it's how dolphins are able to communicate holographically, and it's like completely different from how humans do, but the whole thing, it just sounded so incredible.
It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
We have, if you look at the vibration of dolphins, they have such a high vibration, high frequency. And we have some music with dolphins in it, and we don't use any synthesized music. We only use the pure music of the animal, the expression of the animal. We have some with whale sounds.
Oh.
The birds that we use are actually not synthesized music, because animals have such a great vibration. But think about, where does the healing happen in, say, a bird singing or a flutist playing the flute? It's in the silence, when they take a breath, when the bird takes a breath, when the flutist takes a breath. That's why we have the 10 minutes of silence at the end of the egg session. That 10 minutes of silence is where all the healing just happens to integrate, and you're listening to your body. To me, it's the best part of the session, is the silence.
What I was feeling during the session, that I forgot to mention this before, is, and this happens to me anytime where I meditate and I feel like I am like connected, like I feel like it's like working, is I get this behind my back 2 teeth, I get this like almost like a tingling, or it's kind of like a vibration, like a very, it's weird, but it vibrates a little bit, and it feels like a little different is the best way to say it, but it's like a tingling sensation. I actually looked up on the reflexology of the teeth, and that's where the pineal gland is.
Wow. I didn't even remember that. I think the front tooth is kidney, and there's some different, that's so cool.
I know. So that's because the pineal gland is where your third eye, everything is connected. And so I was like, okay, that makes perfect sense to me. And now I kind of understand this is what's happening to me. And I was trying to, when I talk about Google, I was trying to Google, what does it mean that you get like this tingle behind your teeth, when you meditate? But I was experiencing that the entire time I was in the egg, the entire time.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've heard people talk about so many different things, and they said, Gail, we think that the egg is helping heal the cranial nervous system. And it's like you're getting cranial sacral. It's like a sonic massage. It's, energy work like Reiki. It's deprivation, kind of healing like the float tanks. It's, has a detox property like the infrared saunas. So I had a center owner tell me today, she's like, it's like 17 modalities in one. I'm like, no, we don't want to say that.
But it is. And then on top of all of that, you have integrated intention and manifestation. Let's talk about the power and magic behind intention and manifestation.
I think, what is it, Jonathan Goldman? I've learned from so many people. He says what frequency plus intention is healing or something like that. He has a formula. Well, I feel like when we set our intentions, just like if you were to be negative, you draw more negativity to you. So when you're positive, you drive, more positivity to you. So I feel like we've helped so many people with the intention. So think about how powerful this is. So somebody comes in and says, you know what, I don't like my job. I hate my job and I want to manifest another job. So the practitioner says to you, okay, let's put you in the session. We'll put you on an abundance, session, song selection. And I want you to feel what it would feel like in all the cells of your being to have the perfect job. What it would feel like for you to just, the alarm goes off in the morning and you're like, yes, I get to go to my job. I love my job. You feel that in all the cells of your being. You feel that in your body. You sit in that manifestation chamber, or the intention egg, people call it.
Yeah.
And then you come out and you're of that vibration to attract that.
Right.
It's so simple.
Yes. 100%. No, it's 100%. And it manifests, naturally like that. I think.
Yeah. And people live in fear. So I used to say, okay, if my calendar is not, full, I would go in the egg and I would set that, because I used to own a brick and mortar center, but I don't anymore. I would go in the egg and I would see that there would be a line when I got to the door to open, there would be a line up for people to wait to get in. And how that manifested was the calendar was full. Basically, it was full for 2 years, every day, 2 years, just every day.
I love that.
But a lot of people go, oh my gosh, I don't have any business, and they live in fear. And that's a really bad perfume to wear, because you then deflect all the success because of the fear. So it's a catch-22, you're like, oh my gosh, I need more business. So I live in fear. But when you live in fear, you get less business. You need to live in that place of abundance.
Yes. Yes. And then you also have frequency. Is there a specific kind of frequency that you use inside the egg?
So, we're focusing on the frequencies and the sound waves of the instruments. So the didgeridoo, the drum, the flute, the piano, it all does something different to the body. It'll focus on a different organ, and we have the resonant frequency that we use. So all the energy is contained in that egg. It's not just dissipating into the ether of a room, or, if you're outside, it's not dissipating into the ether. So I don't focus on that, because I don't feel like 528 hertz, if you're listening to it from your computer off of an MP3 file that's compressed, you're not getting the true 528 hertz.
No.
If it's helping you, it could be a placebo effect, and great. Hey, that's great. If it's just a placebo effect, anything that helps you, if you feel like it helps you and it does, I think it's great. And I believe that there's more and more non-invasive modalities that will be coming out. And I think it's great. The cream will always rise to the top.
Yes.
So, but people have to be discerning, like whose energy is behind this, because that energy is going to be in that machine or that supplement or that modality. We can muscle check things. And we've found that you compare two products, there's a vibration that goes down when the integrity of the owner or the integrity of the manufacturing process isn't good. It can be the best marketed supplement on the market, but when the integrity of the owner is bad, the vibration of the product doesn't test as well as another product that maybe isn't scientifically as good as this one. But for me, it's all day is energy. I want the better energy one. I've had some of the center owners testing the egg, and they said the more eggs that are landing on different locations, the higher the frequency is going. Now they said it's over 1,200. Okay. I don't know.
The more eggs that are active, it elevates the field.
Yes. And they're all connected through the crystalline grid or the meridian lines of the planet. So they're a self-organizing system, and I can't take credit for the brilliance of it because it was all downloaded. But
I want to hear about that next. We have to go into this next because I've had a few guests who have had downloaded information on for season 2. Anybody that calls this stuff woo-woo, I think the mainstream is waking up. Okay. I think that, there's a new normal out there. Okay. So I want to talk to you about the vibration of the eggs is enhancing as there's more and more eggs coming to fruition. So is that also raising the collective vibration of the planet?
So I hope so. I believe so. But again, there's no test for this. How do you test that? There's no scientific test. I feel like the eggs came through me and they came as an energy. So a lot of people probably got the information. I just was the crazy one that took it and ran with it. But I think the universe will send information. A lot of people will get it and somebody will do something with it. So I feel like that came through. And then as I've been talking to people, they tell me, okay, the eggs are like what the pyramids did for the planet. It's raising the vibration of the planet. It's helping to heal Mother Gaia. It's helping to heal the people on the planet. So when you left the egg, you may have gone to a store and smiled at somebody and shifted them. So look at all the people going into the eggs, and then they're going out and raising vibration of the planet and of people they come in contact with, as well as the eggs being connected to the grid of the earth to help raise Earth's energy. And a lot of people will leave the planet, not because we're having a run on deaths. The vibration of the planet's coming up. They're not comfortable here anymore and they're leaving. And that's not cold. That's not anything, but you know what? It's their soul journey is done.
Right.
So I feel like as the vibration of the planet raises, people that can't match that vibration need to exit.
And they will.
Yeah. And that's okay. We love them.
Yeah. So can you describe what the download was like?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. I'll try to give you some stories. So like one story that comes to mind first thing is my guys that were building it. They said, okay, Gail, can we just do this, this, and this, for the platform? And I said, no. And they said, why not? I said, I don't know. Just don't do it. It just didn't feel right. They're like, that's not a good reason to make us do all this extra work just because just don't do it. And I said, I can't give you a reason. That one specific item was the hexagon platform. Maybe 6 months later, I learned that the middle of a hexagon is a portal, and that's why it had to be a hexagon that the chair sat on. They thought, just make it a circle like the top, circle the bottom, and it's easier to cut it out. We don't have so many cuts. And I said, just don't do it. And so along the process, there were so many times when somebody said, can we just change this? And I said, no, why not? I don't know. Just can't.
The actual blueprint came to you in a dream, it was a dream.
Yeah. And I worked in automotive and I worked as an engineer and a CAD operator and stuff. So when somebody said, I'll build this for you, you have to draw it for me. I was able to draw a top view, side view, cross-section view, front view in about 15 minutes. It just spilled right through.
Wow.
Yeah. So I got my drafting tools out and I kind of made the egg and I knew the dimensions and everything. And it just came to me.
I think they chose you specifically. I don't think that download happened to thousands of people and you just ran with it. I actually feel you had all of the components necessary to make it happen and they chose you.
Well, you're right. I try to stay humble because when you get into ego, things go awry, as you know. I had an astrology lady told me that my astrology chart, I work for the Ascended Masters, that this was a contract that I had, that I signed up for.
I got the
chills. Know why.
I have got the chills.
Yeah. And so, but a lot of people meet me and they bow to me. And I said, no, I'm just a little Detroit girl. But she told me, she said, they're bowing to the Ascended Masters. Don't deny them that, because people will see me and meet me and cry. I'm like, What y'all crying for? It's just me. So she said they're honoring the ascended masters that you work for. And she said the way your chart is set up, that's really what is going on. So I'm very humbled. I'm very blessed. I don't know, like I often say, why me?
Didn't you speak with a medium or a psychic who said, are you the one that's going to be creating this? And she came to visit you. I think I read that in the book.
There's so many. I've had so many channeled readings. I'm always looking for why me? Even, I worked with Elvis Presley's stepbrother for a while, and he said that Elvis would always say, why me? Why am I the one that everybody looks to? And of course I'm not Elvis, don't get me wrong, but I guess he had a twin at birth and the twin passed. So he was always on a journey of why didn't I pass? Why me? And I feel like a lot of that comes, I always go back to when he said that. I was like, yeah, because I feel that a lot, like, why me? Why?
So where do you see the harmonic egg in the next 10 years? What's your vision for the harmonic egg?
So we need to get as many on the land as we can to raise the vibration, to help heal the planet, to help heal the people on the planet. So I just want to see more egg guardians come through, and the eggs do pick them time and time and time again. People will tell me the egg, I found the egg in this really weird way. Like, I haven't watched Gaia TV for 5 years and your interview popped up first thing. Or they'll say they found it through very weird.
They might see this interview and say,
right,
this spoke to me. Actually, yeah. I think Stephanie said that is exactly what happened with her. She saw an interview with you and she said, it just spoke to me immediately. I felt.
They all say it, and I think when the eggs first started, I'm from corporate America. I ran a consulting firm in telecom and I was a movie producer. And so when this started,
I didn't know the movie producer part.
yeah. So when this started, I said, oh my gosh, I got to write press releases. I got to do all this. And the egg said to me, we'll take care of ourselves. Don't worry. I'm like, you're large wooden eggs. What do you mean you're going to take care of yourself? Time and time again, they pick their owners. They pick their locations. The one lady in California said the egg spoke to her and she's on a fault line. So it needed to be there to help heal the land.
Yes.
I believe where I live right now, I put an egg in my home. I believe it's here to heal the land, and it's been confirmed by some channelers, and some center owners are channelers. So they're like, hey, Gail, do you know the egg has dragon energy now? Do you know the egg has this now? And it just keep getting stronger and stronger.
That's amazing. No, I love that. That's wonderful. Well, I'm going to put your contact information up on the back slide so everyone can check out the Harmonic Egg on your website and also check out the locations. And if you're in Dallas, you have to visit Stephanie at the Next Level Harmonics. And thank you so much for being with us. And honestly,
it was fun.
No, thank you for what you're doing. Also, I think I've been thanking every guest because you're all making this incredible contribution for humanity, for, our benefits and raising our consciousness and raising our vibration and doing this and healing in an incredible way. So thank you for everything that you are doing.
Well, it's tireless, sometimes it's thankless, but I wouldn't do anything else. And I honor all these people that you've interviewed because they're all making a contribution to help people to have a better quality of life. And that's what it's all about, quality of life.
That is 100% what it's all about. And, there are options out there. A lot of people, because this is for the mainstream, and a lot of people are just kind of black and white sometimes with, okay, I'm just going to go to my regular doctor and see what he has to say, and I'm going to follow whatever it is verbatim. And there are options. Everyone has options. And, I always say this, we're in a sick care system, not a health care system. And so we really have to be our own best advocate. So honestly, I can't wait to go back for another session. I'm so excited, and I'm going to actually try the knee cartilage out next. Thank you again, and blessings to you.
Thank you, you too.
Okay. All right. Thanks. And goodbye, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time on the New 100 Longevity Campaign.
I'm not backing down, 'cause the future is now. Not backing down, 'cause the future is now.